I'm not gonna lie, I haven't posted in about 3 months. Hear me out though, hear me out. I was a little bit busy with other things, you know what I'm saying, had other commitments that I had to spend my time on, but we're back now, and that's all that matters. This is the skill we're gonna be making in today's video. Don't forget, 200 likes and I will be open sourcing this in my Discord server, link in the description. And for boosters inside my Discord server, this is literally already open for them. I'm saying, so is a lot of other videos that didn't reach the like goals. It's there for the boosters. So if you're trying to boost, I'm saying, Discord server, link in the description. Alright, so starting off, there are a lot of different things that I did do in this video. So I'm going to be trying to explain the way I guess you could say decided to do everything. Because I know when making skills, especially when you're new to making skills, it might be a little bit confusing for like beginners. So I'm gonna try my best to like explain everything that I do, or at least why I'm doing it, so you can understand and then go off and learn exactly what you need to learn. So yeah, here it's pretty simple stuff. You can probably skip this if you're experienced, but what I'm doing is I'm just firing the remote event to the server. You can see, and I'm passing in 2 arguments. The first argument is always going to be player. So on the server, you can see here I'm receiving the argument and the player and the arguments. The 3 dots just means like, I used to say arguments. It could be like an infinite amount of arguments. So what I'm doing is I'm storing it inside of a table. Then I'm checking if the first value inside of it is an ability, and then if the second argument is grab, then I know the player is trying to do a grab skill. Because as you can see here, I just closed it by mistake. As you can see here, I passed in 2 arguments, ability and grab. So the reason why I decided to do like this is, let's just say I had a different kind of skill. I could do a remote event, fire server, then I don't know, maybe healing, and then I could do I don't know, RCT from JJK. Then inside a server, I could check if the else if arg is like args2 is equal to RCT, for example, then I can find a module that's responsible for, like, you know, healing the character or whatever. So it's just a way you can organize it. This is not necessary at all. It's just the way I like to do it, because in my opinion, it just makes everything easier to like read, and like especially when other people are coming to work on your code and stuff. Anyway, so you can see here, what I did here is I made an empty table called modules. Then I required, so basically I did a loop to loop through everything inside of replicated storage, as you can see here, and then every module inside replicated storage is going to store it within the modules table. And then if the module has an init function, which pretty much just means initialize, I'm just saying this pretty much me saying, okay, if the module script has a function called init, then it should do this and it should run it. So this is something you would do like at the start of the game. Let's just say you wanted to set attributes, or maybe set like a timer, a countdown or something. You could do something like this, so this module will run at the start of the game. Obviously you could just do this in a normal server script, but I like to do it in a module script because it's more organized, because every single module script is handling something different. That way, if you have a specific error or a specific issue, you would know exactly which module script is causing it, instead of having to look through loads of different lines of code trying to figure out what exactly is causing the issue. So yeah, you can see here I grabbed the module script from the tables, or the table of modules, and I started. Don't get confused when I show you the start of the module script. This is just like, it might look a bit confusing, but the reason why it's like this instead of like how it normally is and how I normally organize it is just because this is a lot easier for me to understand. I'm gonna try my best to explain it, but if you guys are familiar with like languages, object-oriented languages like, you know, JavaScript, etc., you guys will be more familiar with this kind of format. But essentially, this is just how you replicate object-oriented programming on Roblox, for like when you're making skills and stuff. It's not necessary at all. If it's too confusing, you can go back to my other devlogs and just use those. But this, for me, helps me, I guess you could say, organize my code better, because as you can see, I made different functions that handle different things, so you can see exactly what or which part is doing what. So when making tutorials, I feel like this would be easier to explain to you guys. So you can see here, this function is going to be handling the start of the skill. This function here is going to be handling the creation of this of the hitbox. This one will be starting the grab, and then this one will be handling the effects, like, you know, the smoke, warding the characters together, everything. So I'm going to be showing you guys how it all works together, and yeah. All right, so now that that's out the way, one thing that I do like to do, but this is also not really necessary, I like to preload animations, just because when working with animations in Roblox, when you first use the animation, sometimes the animation is too fast, it's like it doesn't load properly, and you get some weird issues. So what I like to do is I like to preload them first. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I preload them. So I made a module script in replicated storage, which essentially is just a module script that holds 2 different tables. This is not necessary, like I said again, but the first table is an animation folder, table, and then the second one is the preloaded animation table. and then I'm gonna show you. So as you can see, this is the finished code for the animation preloader. I'm gonna explain it all now. So content provider service is pretty much a Roblox service that helps you, like, you know, with loading assets and stuff. And as you can see here as well, I use the .init method, and inside my server script, I'm starting every module that has the .init. So this module is going to start, where is it? This module is going to start when the server is first created, which is when the first person joins, basically. So yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing there. Then what I'm doing next is I'm storing every animation inside of replicated storage into the animations table, and then from there I have an animations to preload table. Essentially what I'm doing here now is I'm storing everything inside the animations table inside of the animations to preload table. This is because when you have like a key and a value, content provider doesn't let you preload that table for some reason, so you have to preload it as like a regular table. So I'm storing the only reason why I'm even storing it with a key and a value is simply because inside the animation handler where I call the preloaded animations, it's much easier to handle when you have the actual name of the animation and the name is assigned to the value. So that's why I did it this way. So then yeah, I'm taking each animation out of the animations folder and I'm storing it inside the animation to preload, and then I'm preloading those animations, and then for every animation inside the preloaded animations, I'm storing the name of the animation and the actual animation instance. And then I have a function to grab animations, which just returns the preloaded animations, which essentially means this is just going to preload all the animations, and then I'm going to grab the animations later on inside my animation handler and then all the animations. So you can see here, here's my animation handler. I'm going to get it up from my other monitor real quick. It's pretty simple. This is all really like not complicated. It's just like very bare bones system. But you can see I have an animation handler. So I pass in the humanoid, the animation name, and the speed of the animation. Then I look for the animation inside of the animations table, and as you can see, the animations table here is the preloaded animations. Like I'm using the calling the function which returns the preloaded animations, and now it's stored in the animations table. So if I were to print animations table, it would return all the animations in the game. And then I'm essentially just loading the animation from the preloaded animations, and then I'm playing it, and I'm also returning the animation track. That way, if I have like animation events, etc., I could still use those and have the same effect. So yeah. Alright, so now that that's out the way, we can actually start scripting the skill. So what I like to do is I like to make a module that's on top, like I guess to say the module is going to be the parent of the skill module, and the module is called skill data. The reason why I did this is because it's much easier to store it. I guess you could say store all your information about the skill in one table. That way, if you wanted to change, for example, the damage, I could just change the damage here to 20 instead of having to go into the script and edit everything. You might make some errors there, here and there. It's just much easier. This is so unnecessary, but it's necessarily unnecessary. I don't know how I'm yapping, bro. You get the point. But yeah. So after I do that, I have the grab module, which is just in here. And then if I were to run this now, in the output, you can see here, it says starting when I press R from the user input, and it's saying starting because that means it successfully reached this part of the module. And the whole reason why I like organizing it this way, using object-oriented programming, is because it just helps me organize everything all in one. So you can see how I can access all of these from within a different function. That way I'm able to organize my code in different functions, so different functions handle different things, just for organization. I'm just yapping. Anyways, let's get to the point. All right, as you can see here, essentially all I'm doing is I'm just starting the skill. Bear in mind, I don't have any cooldown system on this. Yes, it's not hard to do a cooldown. I just couldn't be bothered doing it at the time. It was pretty late. But yeah, as you can see, I'm getting the hitbox from workspace. Obviously, this is preferably supposed to be in replicated storage, but I got kind of lazy, so I just stored it in workspace. Then I'm playing the animation. As you can see, animation handler, play animation, and I'm passing in my humanoid, the animation's name, and then the speed of the animation that I want it to be played at. And then once the animation, because bear in mind the reason why I'm doing local loaded grab is because the animation handler will return the loaded animation. So I have the actual animation instance stored in this variable, so I can use the get marker signal, which is the keyframe, whatever. And when it's, because I set up the keyframe already, so when the animation reaches a certain point, instead of just guessing, I can run this function whenever it hits that point. So whenever it hits that point, then it will run this function, which just prints out right now hitbox spawns. So you can see here, it plays the animation. Then once it gets to the point I specified, it prints hitbox spawns, as you can see. So obviously the hitbox doesn't actually spawn. We're gonna make it spawn. But you can see here it plays the grab, and if you land the hitbox, like the hitbox touches the player, we'll make it actually land the grab on the player. So yeah. If you guys are regular watchers of my channel, you'll be familiar with the way I do hitboxes. I just like this method. Is really simple. I might make it a module because I did for the game that I'm working on right now. I made it a module, and I reckon you should do that because it just saves time. But yeah, essentially what I'm doing is I don't know why. Let's delete this. Yeah, you can see I did the function to start the hitbox. Then I do the hitbox's C-frame, etc. I just position it in front of the character. Then I do my overlap param. So these are like, I guess you could say what I don't want the hitbox to detect, which is obviously my own character. If this was like for a real game, you might want to put like maybe some certain parts of that map and stuff. So yeah. Then I have an empty table. If you guys want to see understand how I do the hitboxes, I have a video explaining it. I think it was like devlog 6 or something. I don't really know, but yeah, you can see this is just this, and if I were to run this now, you can see the hitbox will actually spawn. I think it's gonna, let me make it not destroy the hitbox, because it's gonna destroy it super quick. You won't be able to see it. You can see I press it, the hitbox spawns wherever you look. So we're gonna make it now so whenever somebody's within the hitbox, it would actually, you know, do something. Alright, so this is the code for the actual grab. As you can see, all I'm doing is welding the two characters together over here. I'm playing some music and stuff, that's why the code looks kind of long. But yeah, I'm playing music when the skill starts, and I'm welding the two characters together. Here, I'm just setting the C0, which is like kind of like the offset of the characters. So the character is 3.5 studs forward, and they're going to be facing my character. Because if not, the character might face a different way, look weird. So doing this, it ensures that when I actually weld the characters together, one character isn't like facing the wrong way. So just make it so they're always like in the right position for the animation to play, if that makes sense. Then obviously I said auto rotate to false. I don't know why I did that twice. That was a mistake. Then yeah, I played the animation using the animation handler. I had to set it to loop because the open source animation I used, I don't know why he made it looped. So I just set it to loop to false there. Played, did some more effects, the smoke and everything. So I'm going to show you guys what I got so far from all of this code. The rest of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. It's just like me making the skill look nice, adding sounds at the right time, tweaking the text, all that kind of stuff to make pretty much this. Obviously, I will be showing the cutscene in a different video, but you can see it looks pretty nice. But as you can see, it does no damage and the world doesn't destroy. So it kind of like, you know, looks pretty weird. But to fix that problem, all I have to do is finish the last function, which is this function is basically handling all the cool parts of the skill. So it's playing the explosive sounds, it's making a person take damage, and it's destroying the world afterwards, and then it's knocking them back. A lot of people have been asking me how to do knockback. Body velocity is a really good way to do a simple knockback system. All I'm doing here is setting the velocity to my character's look vector times by 100. So I guess you could say if my character is looking straight, they will go 100 studs straight, if that makes sense. And then yeah. So yep, you can see I can miss the grab. Hitbox is not too bad. Even if the character is looking the other way, you can see here I can grab them, they will start facing me, and obviously we'll do the cutscene and knock them back. I think it looks pretty cool. I made it just by adding loads of open source things together, like animations, VFX and everything, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't posted in a minute and I just had to post, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'll be open sourcing this in a couple of minutes, to be honest, for boosters in my server, and this video will be out in a couple of hours. So yeah, whenever you guys are seeing this, drop a like, 200 likes and I'll do the cutscene video, and yeah.